Welcome into the Sharp Sports YouTube podcast. My name is Andrew Sharp. We'll be talking everything Denver sports and beyond. Please like and subscribe if you are a sports fan like me. Let's do this. Welcome into the Sharp Sports YouTube podcast. My name is Andrew Sharp. Well, unfortunately, the Denver Broncos suffered a divisional loss in the AFC to the Los Angeles Chargers. Another frustrating game for the Broncos, a game in which they controlled large sections of the football game and certainly were in a position to win yet another football game and failed to do so for a myriad of reasons. Broncos lose to the Chargers 23-20. And now, I didn't quite realize this, and I'm going to do a little bit of research on this to come back to it, but the Chargers started their first three games against the Chiefs, Raiders, and now Broncos, respectively. Chargers started the season with three AFC West divisional games in a row and are 3-0 and have a now commanding lead in the division. Broncos, I anticipated this. What transpired during the game, I didn't anticipate, but the final result did not surprise me. I did not pick the Broncos to win this game before the season. I did not pick the Broncos to win this game before kickoff. However, that being said, there's a lot to take away from this game, and I'm going to get into a little bit more of that right now. Well, there's certainly to take away a lot from the end of the game. I actually want to start with the beginning of the game. The Broncos, under Sean Payton, are notorious slow starters, and that did not change, unfortunately, in this game. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if it's a Sean Payton preparation thing, a Bo Nix having jitters and looking jittery in the first quarter game of each game, I should say. But the Broncos cannot afford to have these dry spells, and by dry spells, I mean dreadful spells, in the beginning of games. Basically, Denver started off the game with a 3-and-out, had the ball for a minute and 38 seconds, had a net 7 yards, did not get a first down. Second possession, 3 plays, 9 yards, minus 10 in penalty yards. I'm going to get to that a little bit later, and no first downs for a negative 1, punted. Third possession, had the ball this time only for 55 seconds. Another 3-and-out, yards gained, -2. So somehow the Broncos didn't even get close to a first down, punt. Then, unfortunately, end up basically doing nothing in first quarter. Literally did not have a first down in the entire first quarter for the Broncos. Chargers, I'm looking at my notes here, Chargers had 5 first downs in the first quarter. Denver had 0. And yet, somehow, at the end of the first quarter, the Chargers had only managed to amass 1 field goal as the Denver defense was playing very well in the first part of this game, was peppering Justin Herbert, sacking him, and making things difficult. So a defensive game. But in saying all that, the first parts of these games are just brutal. And the part that is more unsettling for me is that this is part of the game which should be practiced, scripted, and at least have an idea of what the Denver Broncos offense is going to look like. And instead, it still looks disorganized, unproductive, and quite frankly, not good enough to win a football game in the NFL. It's just not good enough. Denver kept going through the second quarter, I should say, and within about halfway through the second quarter, 20 minutes into game time, the Broncos have 0 points in 20 minutes of football in an NFL game. And then the Broncos got a little bit of a break because Najee Harris, the fine running back for the Chargers, was injured, which I never wish any injury on a person or a player in this league, but it's part of the game, and you have to take advantage of it. That being said, the total yards as the Chargers were driving, Chargers had 143. This is about midway through the second quarter. Chargers 143, Denver 41 yards. And if you take out the one bomb play that Bo Nix had to Courtland Sutton, which he did connect on, he didn't connect on some others. We'll talk about that later. With 2:50 left in the first half, the Denver Broncos essentially had about 20 yards worth of offense. That's not going to work. I'm still a believer in Bo Nix, but this was a very troubling performance, especially early in the game. A lot is going to be made of the end of the game, but you cannot play a quarter and a half of NFL football on offense with several 3-and-outs and literally less than 100 yards of total offense in a half of football and expect to beat even an average team in the NFL. And unfortunately, as much as I've been a believer, as they like to call it on here, and I have been praising the development of Bo Nix, I'm officially a little nervous for him at this point, because these are the types of games in which you're going to have to win. The Chargers aren't going anywhere. Justin Herbert is not going anywhere. Jim Harbaugh has basically been banned from coaching college football. I know this is a Michigan fan. He's not going anywhere. He's going to be in the NFL in your division for a while. And Bo Nix with 14 completions on 25 attempts for 153 yards. And if you take out basically the big pass play that he had to Courtland Sutton for the touchdown, he had about 100 yards worth of passing. It's not good enough. And unfortunately, he had not one, not two, but 3 different times where he had plays ready to go. Marvin Mims streaking down the sideline and overthrew him. Now, part of that, I just feel like Bo Nix right now is very frenetic. It's sort of, everything is sort of just, he's got to wind up to throw the ball. It feels very rushed. It feels not calm at all. It's hard to watch on offense. And unfortunately, he's only getting modest production from the running backs. I mean, I thought J.K. Dobbins actually had a pretty good game, but he only had 11 attempts. The Broncos only ran the ball 21 times because, quite frankly, the Broncos had so little time of possession because they kept going 3-and-out, and because they were in 3rd and long, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 13. It seemed like on every drive, if you only have 21 rushing plays and 23 passing plays, 25 passing plays, that's not a lot of plays. The Chargers basically almost doubled the Broncos in offensive production in terms of numbers. And it's insane to think that the Broncos actually had a lead for a good chunk of this game. It makes it even all the more frustrating to watch. But let's just say I'm on a very low burn worry watch on Bo Nix, only because I'm not seeing him develop in the way that I thought that he would in this 2025 season thus far. In every NFL season, you never really have the same team. Guys come in and out, retire, sign, free agency, the draft, all that. And unfortunately for the Broncos, through this very first few games of the 2025 season, you're seeing the contrast between, in this game directly, between who the Broncos selected and who the Chargers selected. And the Broncos selected R.J. Harvey in the second round out of University of Central Florida. And unfortunately, it's partly Sean Payton's stubbornness, but R.J. Harvey is not helping this football team at all. He really is. And he has 2 attempts on the ground for 2 yards. He had a total of 3 targets, 3 catches for 14 yards, no touchdowns. On the other side, Omarion Hampton, who the Chargers selected in the first round of the NFL draft this year. The Broncos took Jahdae Barron as a corner who's not doing much. Omarion Hampton, not amazing, but super solid, contributing to the Chargers win. It's not even debatable. he was way better. He ended up with 19 carries, 70 yards, had one long run for 11, which is fine, and a touchdown. So already you're seeing direct impact from this year's draft, from guys who were not on the team last year for the Chargers, making an impact. And that also goes for, and I want to get his name exactly right, that also goes for Oronde Gadsden, who I really didn't know a whole lot about, tight end selected in the 5th round by the Chargers, played ball at Syracuse. Syracuse is honestly doing pretty good. They just upset the University of Miami. Not Miami, excuse me, Clemson, this last Saturday. Oronde Gadsden, 5th round pick, contributing to the Chargers win. Had a couple of key grabs later on in the game. 7 targets, 5 receptions, only 46 yards, but that's more than the Broncos, who have Lucas Kroll, 2 targets, 1 reception, 9 yards. And I say that in saying no one else because literally no other tight end for the Broncos even had a catch. So the Broncos, and unfortunately Evan Ingram's not been available, which is always the risk when you sign free agents from other teams. But directly in this game, you're seeing exactly what happens when your draft picks are kind of and other teams select, quite frankly, at this point, better players or develop them better. And it literally plays out directly on the field of play in an important divisional game a month into the season. The Chargers draft picks are already making a bigger impact on their team than anyone with the Broncos. The Broncos selected a project at tight end in the 7th round, and Caleb Warner, who didn't even make the team. So, Broncos, I'm just a little concerned that they're not getting anything from the young players who should be helping this team take the next step. I'm not trying to be extra negative or hit the panic button, but I will say, and I expected the Broncos to lose this game when I picked them in the beginning of the season. However, the manner in which they are losing games is also extremely frustrating to watch, as the Broncos had 10 penalties in this game. The ones that are the most egregious are the procedure penalties. Nick Needle offsides on a punt. Adam Troutman offsides on lining up. The Broncos had multiple penalties that were essentially either lining up offsides or improper formation. And that just can't happen. You cannot win these games in the NFL committing these silly, just dumb penalties. And I don't, yes, it's something you can clean up. And yes, the first couple games of the NFL season now are essentially an extension of the preseason because no one actually plays preseason football. However, this is the consequence of not playing much or not correcting things in the preseason, as now it has spilled over into a regular season game that you desperately need to win to be competitive in the division and to go where you want to go. And quite frankly, if you have this many, you being any football team, have that many penalties in a game, it's really hard to win. And yet the Broncos were right there. They were right there, actually had a chance to win the game all the way into the final drive, in which the Broncos could have stopped the Chargers defensively and forced overtime. And once you get to NFL overtime, quite frankly, anything is possible. But the Broncos did not make those plays. And this loss was disappointing only because they actually had a shot in the game. Yes, I would agree that Justin Herbert is a more talented baseline player than Bo Nix, but Bo Nix can play better than this. I still contend that Bo Nix can play a lot better than he showed this last Sunday. If he had hit a few of those home run balls, the Broncos probably win the game. But in the NFL, no one really cares for style points. It's about winning games. It's about moving on to the next game. And unfortunately, the Broncos are going to have to turn around and play a primetime game against the Cincinnati Bengals coming up. Now the Broncos caught a little bit of break, and that Cincinnati will be starting a backup quarterback in the game. However, it's a home game on Monday Night Football, and I would love to see the Broncos put together a effort that is worthy of the home crowd, and one of the only times they're going to get to play on primetime television in this NFL season. And so the Broncos have work to do. The time is now. There are no more gimmies, at least a little bit on the schedule with the Bengals, and then, of course, playing the world defending champion Philadelphia Eagles soon after that in Philadelphia. So the Broncos are actually only one game behind where I thought they would be at this point, as they lost to the Colts, who won again on Sunday and are proving to be a real NFL team this year. So there's no harm in that, but it's time to improve. It's time to get a lot better. As Sean Payton said in his press conference, we have to improve right now, and I would fully agree with that. Anyways, great to be here. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, my name is Andrew Sharp, Sharp Sports 82 YouTube podcast. If you like any of this content, please give me a like, follow, or even just a comment. I really appreciate it. And I'll be back doing a little preview of Bengals, Broncos, and some news and notes this week. I was going to last week, but took a little extra visit down to New Mexico and did not manage to get back to a preview pod, but that is my goal. And I'll be back talking Broncos with you very soon. Thanks for tuning in.